Whether you agree with his opinions or not, there's no denying that Andrew Tate is one of the most popular people on the internet right now. Top G is worth more than $350 million. And when someone is making bank like that, you can bet that they have a really busy schedule. While it may seem like he's come out of nowhere, Tate is a former kickboxing world champion and an entrepreneur who's been a prominent figure on social media since the early 2010s. But how much do we really know about the man behind Hustlers University? And how did he become so rich and successful? Let's find out. Morning routine. Okay, so for a guy like Tate, you just know he's got to start his day off early. The man himself has revealed on several occasions that he gets up around 9 o'clock every morning, which, if we're being honest, isn't as early as most people in his income bracket get up, but we'll give him a pass on that. He is human after all. But don't let this fool you. Just because he doesn't get up at 5 a.m. doesn't mean his morning routine is like every other average Joe's. You see, the first thing most of us think about getting up is usually breakfast. Well, it's pretty much the same for Tate, only his breakfast routine is a little more complicated than opening up the fridge and pouring out a bowl of cereal. No, instead, it's actually pretty interesting. See, Tate likes to make himself work for his breakfast. As Tate fans may already know, he views himself as some sort of apex predator. So it's only fitting that he wants to work to get his meal. So he usually makes himself a good old cup of black coffee. He heads up to his small home gym. Honestly, not that surprising. According to Top G, his morning workouts can range anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour depending on what he has planned out for the day. Tate keeps his workouts pretty simple. He usually does some cardio before hitting some light weights, and that's pretty much it. Andrew often talks about how he isn't really the biggest fan of going to the gym and working out. This is mostly because when he was a pro kickboxer, Tate was forced to hit the gym every single day for hours on end, and that can really take a toll on a person. But being a realist, Andrew realizes how important it is for a person to stay in shape. This is why he's developed a really special training regimen in which he practices push-ups and shadow boxing for strength and runs for cardio. This not only allows him to train at his own pace, but also makes his workout shorter and gives him time to do other things. Daily routine. I'm sure you're curious about his diet, so let's take a look at that. Tate actually isn't a big fan of diets, but he's also not afraid to experiment with different eating styles. If he could give some advice, Tate would probably say that if you cut sugar out of your diet and eat enough of everything else, you'll be fine. One thing that piqued my interest was when he talked about having a carnivore diet. Andrew says you should definitely try it because it's basically living on 85 to 90% meat. It's all meat, no rice, no pasta, no big bags of chips or anything like that, just meat. After trying this diet, the first thing he noticed was that he started to lose body fat. He was always in good shape, but now it looked like his six-pack really came out and it felt amazing. The next thing he noticed was that he felt way more energetic than before. Andrew claims that sometimes you feel depressed, angry, or have brain fog and can't think clearly. He believes that once you remove carbohydrates from your meal plan, all that goes away. One thing that I'm pretty sure all of you will find interesting is the fact that Andrew eats only once a day. Now, that might sound really absurd, but Tate claims that it works and everyone should try it once in their life. It may feel strange at first, but it may work for you. It feels literally insane that he can get so much work done on just one meal per day. As Tate himself will tell you, he has more than 15 revenues of income, and that's a lot of business to take care of. While Andrew has never really revealed how he manages to handle everything at once, we can imagine that it probably isn't easy. One way Andrew has managed to be so successful is his unparalleled drive to achieve something he sets his mind to. According to Top G, he loves to set really high goals for himself. Then he says, "I'm going to do this today," and surprisingly, that one sentence is motivation enough for him to achieve that thing. He actually developed this ritual when he was really young. It started with little things like telling his brother that he'll do 1,000 push-ups in a day and would push himself to complete that goal. Over time, this turned into a lifestyle for him, and now he uses the same method in his business and daily routine. Now, all of this didn't just happen overnight. Andrew actually had it pretty rough growing up. He didn't grow up with a lot of money. His father was a professional chess player and would be away from home a lot while his mother was a dishwasher at a restaurant. Not exactly the ideal childhood, but Andrew managed. Around the time he turned 4, his father started teaching him how to play chess. They would just sit and practice every day for 4 hours a day. This really instilled a lot of discipline into Tate early on in his life and was instrumental for him later on. Things took a really bad turn when Tate's parents separated and he had to move to England with his mother. Moving away from his father also meant no more chess lessons for Andrew. Now, instead of wasting the extra time he had all of a sudden, Tate decided to put it to good use and began training for a different, more bloodier sport, kickboxing. Now, while Andrew was doing this, his brother Tristan was working odd jobs to put food on the table. The two brothers actually had a pact. While Tristan continued to work a normal job to pay for daily things like rent and food, Andrew wouldn't go to work and just think every day and strategize how to get rich. Things really started to improve for Andrew and his family when he began his professional kickboxing career and won his first championship title in 2009 after defeating Paul Randall. From there, the top G went on to win 3 more championships, proving that he was more than a one-hit wonder. Surprisingly, Tate revealed that kickboxing was actually not the main source of his fortune. According to him, the most he ever got out of a fight was a mere $100,000. Take this as a cue to cross kickboxing off from your list of potential money-making ventures. Anyway, let's get back to Tate. Now, since the money didn't come from kickboxing, where did he get it? Glad you asked. Andrew founded a webcam business with his brother and some of their female friends in 2010. The team worked together to grow the business to the point where it was making around $600,000 per month. Now, that's some finely dressed management skill, or in this case, undressed management skill. However, in recent years, Andrew has distanced himself from this business but still takes a small percentage of the women's incomes because, Tate ain't giving up a revenue stream completely. Tate also dipped his toes into the world of casinos. He got his start in the casino industry after meeting a casino owner while commentating on a cage fighting show in Romania. The event sponsor was a businessman who operated a series of little casinos around Europe. Tate proposed partnering with the man to invest in a franchise model where he would open his own casinos in Romania using the businessman's existing brand name. The guy agreed to Tate's conditions after much negotiating, and the casino business immediately took off. As his empire continued to grow, Andrew understood that he had to keep moving from one big thing to the other, even bigger thing. And one of these ventures is an online school called the Hustlers University, a global network with members and influence in more than 70 countries that teach people how to make money using stock and crypto analysis and option plays. Tate currently has around 15 different income businesses. But if we were to point out one project that Top G is super focused on right now, it would definitely be Hustlers University. Most of his other businesses have already been established, but HU is still a work in progress. Andrew often talks about how much time and effort it's taking to get this thing up and running. And Andrew is doing absolutely everything he can to get HU off the ground. Tate allegedly has to fly all over the world multiple times a week and sometimes multiple times a day for this one venture. Andrew has stated that Hustlers University, which has a market value of over $300 million, has grown to be his primary source of income and is his primary focus for the time being. Now, aside for Hustlers University, Tate is also knees-deep into the world of social media. Tate draws a significant portion of his fortune from his online presence as a content creator on platforms such as YouTube and Instagram. He also does a podcast with millions of views. Night routine. Believe it or not, even a top G like Andrew Tate has to go to sleep. But in classic Tate fashion, his bedtime routine isn't like your average Joe's. Andrew is a huge believer in lucid dreaming. He claims that it's almost a part of his lifestyle. Tate claims that in order to lucid dream, all he has to do is think really hard before going to sleep. He usually thinks of what he did in his day. This helps him enter a state of complete focus that carries on into his sleep. Top G says that this simple bedtime ritual helps him get a night of better sleep and keeps him calm and focused throughout the day. He claims that lucid dreaming can affect your real-life thinking and the choices that you make. Tate also alleges that this ritual has allowed him to get in better touch with his subconscious. Tate also thinks that lucid dreaming has helped him have better control over his mind. This allows him to stay in complete touch with his feelings and emotions. And if you think of it, this really shows in the way the top G conducts himself in real life. The whole world screams and shouts at him, but he is focused on his lane, making bank and living his life to the fullest. And that's a wrap for this video. What's your opinion on Andrew Tate's lifestyle? Can you see yourself living this way? Let us know in the comments section down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.